Hi, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Sonder Social. I'm so excited to have you all here. This is one of my favorites. We're going to dive into our gratitude jars as well as Ikigai, which is something that we do occasionally here at Slick and Sonder, but it's always really special. And I think it's a it's just a really productive hour that we spend together. So I'm very excited to dive in a little bit. For those of you who are new, welcome to today's Sonder Social. I'm Malika. I will be leading you through this Sonder Social this evening. And with me is the one and only Bailey. She'll be in the chat for answering any of your questions. There she is giving you a big ol' wave. So say hi to Bailey. Oh my God, we're kind of matching with our little shirts. Very girly, very fun. But yeah, so we are excited to have you all here. Just a quick reminder, make sure to set that chat toggle to everyone. Um, Sometimes it defaults to hosts and panelists, which means just myself and Bailey will see it, but it's our primary way of interacting with each other. But let's go ahead and not waste any more time. We have a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'll run through these community guidelines pretty quickly, but just as a reminder, be kind and courteous to yourself and others. No promotions or spam. Respect everyone's privacy. No hate speech or bullying. Um, any product or accessory questions or customer care inquiries will go to our team at hello@silkandsonder.com. And just remember that Sonder socials are a way to really elevate kind of your experience with the journal. So this is kind of like the add-on, and it really is impactful to come to these Sonder socials because not only do you get inspired by kind of like what we walk through together, but also by each other. And I think the big piece of this is our community, our Sonder family. So I'm really excited that you all have decided to join for this hour. Let's go ahead and talk through this month's theme of enchantment. So I always think about enchantment as like kind of whimsical, and I always relate it to Disney because I always just feel like one of the most like exciting places when I was a kid was Disneyland, and whenever my parents would bring me there, I would just get so happy, and it was like everything I would see on my Disney princess movies were just kind of came to life, and all of a sudden I felt like I was that princess. And I feel like it lives within me, like that little girl who wants to be a princess. Like, I feel like that little girl is still here, and I'm still that girl inside. And I feel like this theme is really helping me kind of dive into that a little bit more and really lean into kind of feeling like a princess. And it's okay to want to be a princess. Yes. I feel like everybody has their own little thing, and I feel like I always, felt that way. And my nickname when I was little was the Little Princess. So I feel like it is a great thing to be associated with. But yeah, I think enchantment is really exciting. It really dives into what makes things feel magical again. And as we kind of think about this month's as it unfolds, I want you to kind of lean into the magic. And even if it's unpredictable or spontaneous, really kind of letting that guide you a little bit more this month. So, with that, I'll walk us through the agenda. So, we'll start off with an opening activity. Then we'll move into our gratitude log on page 13. And then finally, we'll do our Ikigai exercise. Okay, so for the opening activity, turn to a blank notes page, and it can be a scratch paper if you don't have any blank pages left, or a sticky note, whatever is nearby. But this exercise is called the Sun-Kissed Secret Garden. So maybe close your eyes just for a moment and imagine that you've discovered a secret garden that only appears in the summertime. What does it feel like when the sun touches your skin there? What extraordinary flowers bloom, perhaps glowing at dusk or shimmering with dew? Are there ancient trees whispering secrets or playful sprites flitting among the leaves? I don't know what that means. What sounds do you hear? The buzz of luminous bees, the chime of wind through magical crystals, or the gentle gurgle of an enchanted stream? On a fresh page in your journal, maybe draw or doodle your sun-kissed secret garden. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just really kind of let your imagination unfold onto the page. So, I want you to think about this. It doesn't, if maybe if you're not feeling artistically inclined today, maybe describe it. You can always describe your secret garden, but if you're feeling like you want to get creative with it, go ahead and bust out those colored pencils or pens and maybe start drawing your secret garden. What do you have in your garden? Are there certain flowers that you want to have bloom? Are there certain trees that provide a lot of shade? Are there streams? Is there any water feature in your garden? Um, think about kind of the sounds. Think about kind of what is nearby. What are there little bees? Think about kind of your ecosystem, your secret garden that you are building, and really let it. Really let your imagination run wild. So, yes, if you are like Jennifer, you feel like your art is atrocious, you can write. Absolutely fine to write. I'm a writer myself, and I think if I had more time, I could probably make it look pretty. But I encourage you to take whatever medium feels more comfortable for you. So I'll give you all some time to draw or write and describe your sun-kissed secret garden. All right. Thank you all for describing your secret gardens. I just want to wear a pretty dress and frolic in all of your gardens and just be there and soak up all the magic. It's really fun to kind of have this like visualization exercise. This past weekend, I went to Anthropology and bought all these dresses, and I live in like San Francisco where it's really cold, so I don't even know when I'm gonna be able to wear these dresses, but it feels like your secret gardens is where I imagine myself wearing these dresses. So, thank you all so much for sharing and just describing your sun-kissed secret garden. All right, let's go ahead. And now we're going to turn the page to 13. So I'll give you all a second to open your August journals to page 13. And we are going to dive into our gratitude jars together. So, um, I think this one is always fun. Okay. It's always nice to really reflect and think about kind of what we're grateful for. But what I love about these gratitude jars is you can get really creative with how you set this up. And it really dives in to kind of thinking about what you're grateful for. And I feel like it's always like a good grounding experience, especially like after this the summer's kind of winding down. We're transitioning into fall next month. So, really thinking and reflecting on what you are grateful for and putting that in your jar is going to really give you a good perspective as we close out the season and move into the next season. So, here are some examples that I will share with you. So, here you can, again, I told you that these are very fun and creative. So, I wanted to show you some examples that people have done in the past so you can kind of write out one thing that you're grateful for on a line, put some stickers in there. You can make this like almost like a bubble, like a jar of bubbles, and then you can put what you're grateful for in each of those bubbles. Oh my gosh, Brenda sees hers, amazing. You can just put a bunch of placeholder stickers and you can write in them. I like this almost like broken glass, like mosaic type of idea. So you can kind of write out what you're grateful for in each of those. Oh, Brenda, that one's yours. I love that one. It's so fun. I like all the shapes and it's just really creative. Um, and then this one is really cool with a lot of color. You don't have to stick with one pen. You can really get creative with it. We also have a bunch of fireflies, which is really pretty. I don't think we have fireflies in coastal California, but I have seen them in real life, and that is such a fun way to do the gratitude jar to just kind of show them in the jar and write out underneath each of those little fireflies what you're grateful for. And then here you have some stickers. So yeah, so you can really get creative with how you set it up. Here are some other examples. This is someone said I'm Meredith said I'm not creative. It's okay. Honestly, me neither. Like this is really making me question my creativity, and people really are so artistically inclined, and I wish I was that person. You can just write, you can just write what you want, you're grateful for. But I love this idea of like petals on a flower. I think that's so fitting for the summer. So I really like that. I really love this little aquarium. So like I think that's really fun with all the fishes. I think it's like, oh my goodness, the talent. So this is a really fun way to do it as well. And then this one was themed. So the theme of the month was knowledge. So you can always make it your enchantment gratitude jar. So what are things that bring magic to your life? What are some things that you're grateful for that provide that like enchantment in your life? So I feel like you can always take it in that direction as well. I know the aquarium, this is so beautiful and so fun. So I love that aquarium gratitude jar. And then here's some other ones like people get really good with the lettering. Like I love this one as well. Like it's so pretty. Um, So definitely feel free to get creative with it. And then here are some more shapes where you can fill in what you're grateful for. So, oh, those Brenda's again. Amazing. So, with that, I'm gonna also show you this. So I'll kind of rotate between the sides so you guys can get creative. You can get some inspiration from all these beautiful jars. But I'll also keep this up to help kind of jog those ideas. Maybe these are all like basically categories that you can reflect on. So I'll give you all some time to reflect on your gratitude jars, and we will regroup in a few minutes. All right. Thank you all for just taking the time and filling in your gratitude jars. And it is totally okay if you didn't finish and you just got started, but it is going to be especially for those of you who are very creative. I know those probably don't just take a couple minutes. I know they take a little bit longer. So at least getting started is great. So with that, we will now transition into Ikigai. So, for everyone, just turn to page 21 for Ikigai, and we're going to walk through this exercise together. And just remember that this is like one of my favorite exercises that we do. It's really all about kind of figuring out your reason for being, okay? And really thinking about what purpose you have in life and like what the intersection of what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you're good at is your purpose. So, I'm going to walk us through let's start off with what is Ikigai, okay? So, Ikigai is a Japanese concept that embodies the idea of your happiness in living. And I love this quote on the right. So, Ikigai is the reason why you get up in the morning. It is the sum of all those small joys in everyday life, which result in a more fulfilling life as a whole. And the concept of Ikigai is said to have evolved from basic health and wellness principles within traditional Japanese medicine. And this medical tradition holds that the physical well being is truly affected by one's mental and emotional health and having that sense of purpose in life. So, really thinking about Japanese psychologist Michiko Kumano has said that Ikigai is a state of well being that arises from devotion to activities one enjoys, which also brings a sense of fulfillment. Pursuing activities that produce enjoyment and a sense of mastery, specifically as a way to alleviate depressive disorder. And it's your reason for getting up in the morning or waking up to joy. So it's a really exciting thing to kind of walk through together. And I hope you get a lot out of this exercise. So let's go ahead and get started. So, where do we start? And just remember that Ikigai is going to take some time, and we only have 20 minutes left in this hour, which is okay. But I want to encourage you to really self reflect, and we're all going to make it through together. So, on a blank sheet or within your notebook in the margins of that page, I want you to start jotting down on a separate. You can do it on a separate page if you need more space. I like to not be confined by space. So I like to do this on a separate page. But start jotting down what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So we can kind of really see what so I set up my page like this, and you can really think about what do you do or experience that brings us the most joy in life, what makes us feel the most alive and fulfilled. What you're good at is anything that you're particularly good at. Maybe it's your skills that you've learned, hobbies you've pursued, talents you've shown at an early age. Think about what those things are. So just playing the piano or public speaking, or maybe you're a painter. It's the sphere is really encompassing your talents and your capabilities, and it doesn't really matter whether you're passionate about them. It's just or whether the world needs them or if you can get paid for it. Just things that you like to do. What the world needs. So this doesn't have to be like the whole world. It could be kind of how you define your world. So it can be a small community. It could be maybe people within your town or people that you're normally in touch with or anything in between. So you get to define kind of what the world is for you, and think about kind of what you feel like the world needs. So maybe the world needs people who are able to take care of patients, like nurses or clean water or volunteers for a certain event or, protection amongst the community, like those types of things. Andrea said peace. Yes, peace. And it's really kind of this domain is really tied explicitly with other people and doing good for them. So beyond your own need. And then the last one is what you can get paid for. So this dimension of the diagram also refers to the world or society at large. And it really invokes kind of what is someone else willing to pay for, or what will the market kind of pay you for. So you might be passionate about, certain things, but what can you actually get paid for? So for me, I am I like haven't done this in a long time because I don't have a piano anymore, but I am very passionate about piano, but I can't get paid for just playing piano unless I start doing like piano lessons or performances, and actually getting paid for it. So thinking about what those talents are, in the state of like economic growth. So with that, I will give you all some time to reflect on each of those areas. And then we will kind of come together for those intersections, once you've had some time to just reflect on those separate domains. So, what you love, what the world needs, what I'm good at, and what you can be paid for. right. I hope everyone had some time to jot down kind of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. And we will now transition into kind of the next step, which is on page 21. So go back to page 21. And now we find those intersection points, okay? So here is where we really get to kind of dive into your mission, your passion, your mission, your profession, and your vocation. And that all kind of transforms into your ikigai, that intersection point. Just remember that the intersection of what you love and what you're good at is your passion. So passion is and I want to add some contextual, like, okay, how are we defining passion? So passion is that strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement for something or doing something. Your mission is the intersection of what you love and what the world needs. So it describes not only what we do and how we do it, and identifies the benefits we deliver from those endeavors. Our mission describes us in the present, describes our purpose, and what is the true north that points us to our future. The profession is the intersection of what you're good at and what you can get paid for. So the profession is really a job one consciously adopts and studies, and refers to more kind of intellectual pursuits, which involve maybe getting a qualification or thinking about kind of how sometimes this overlaps with your vocation a little bit, but this one is thinking about kind of what you love and what you can get paid for. And your vocation is the intersection of what the world needs and what you can get paid for. So this is really tied to doing this type of work because it's something that the world needs and something that you can also get paid for. So a job or calling that's focused on a particular kind of work because it contributes to society. It's something that you can get paid for. So that is kind of your vocation. So I'll give you all some time to reflect. I wanted to also share with you some ikigais in the past. So these are all about kind of reflecting on your passion, your mission, your profession, your vocation. And you can see that they kind of jotted down, similar to what we did earlier. You jot down kind of what you are in those outer rings, and then you find those intersection points and really reflect on what that is for you. So feel free to, take these as inspiration. Here are some other examples of Ikigai. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be like a statement. It can also just be bullets. Really think about kind of what that is for you. And yeah, these examples are great because, there's so many different ways you can take your Ikigai. It doesn't have to be, super prescriptive. It can also just be, jotting down things, but it's all about finding those intersection points, and really thinking about kind of what that Ikigai is. So just remember, Ikigai is a state of being, which may be difficult for some of us to embody at all times, but it represents kind of hope to lead a more fulfilling life in only a way that you can truly define it. Like, this is not something that someone can define for you. This is something that takes inner work, that takes a lot of self-reflection. And that is why you are here with us today. So I'll give you all some time to reflect on your ikigai, and we will write out our passion, our mission, our vocation, and our profession. All right, we're nearing the end. We've already surpassed our hour. And I know this is a really heavy activity, so totally understand if you have to revisit. But thank you all so much for spending this hour with me, and really at least starting. I think that's always the hard part with these exercises. It's like starting is half the battle, and you started, and that is good enough. So thank you all so much for spending this hour with me. I really hope that you take some time. If you didn't finish it in this hour, you take some time to really think about it and reflect and finish your Ikigais because it's a really big unlock and it really provides a lot of context. So it really helps just to think through this a little bit and dive in. And thank you so much for spending this hour with us. We always love connecting with you folks. So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.